Hi again, welcome back to Sika. So today let's make the famous Hyderabadi Lukhmi. Basically, Lukhmi is like samosas, but they're filled just with meat or potatoes. But today we're going to make with minced meat. I have taken about a pound of minced meat, a small bunch of cilantro, and some few green chilies for some heat, and about one large onion, or if you have a small one you can take up to four, and if it is medium you can take up between 2 to 3. I'm going to chop those things later on. So for the spices, I have some garam masala powder, dhania powder, chili powder, and turmeric, and the detail of these spices will be in the description box below. Do check it out. And for the whole spices, I am going to dry grind with using a mortar and a pestle the whole coriander, cumin, and some fennel seed. So let's get started. I'm going to finely chop cilantro and green chilies. I have taken about 4 to 5 green chilies for a pound of mincemeat, but if you like it more spicy, you can add more of the green chilies and not a red chili powder. So make sure to add more green chilies for spice. So now let's keep them aside, and I'm also going to chop in the onions finely. So since this was quite a large onion, I'm just using one large onion. And in a small pan, let's heat up the oil and add the dry spices that we just ground using mortar and a pestle. Just crush them, not too fine, but once the raw flavor of the spices are gone, we are ready to add in our onions. So I have chopped one large onion. I'm going to add almost all of it and save 1/4 of it to add later on after adding the meat. So I'm going to add some salt to this so the onions get cooked fast. Now let's add the red chili powder, dhania powder, turmeric powder, and garam masala, all of them together in with the onions. Once the onions have become softer. So now we'll add the ginger and garlic paste. About 3 tablespoons I added fresh ginger and garlic paste. And keep stirring continuously so it does not burn in the bottom, and all the raw flavor of all the spices are also disappearing. So now we are ready to add our meat. I have about a pound of minced meat which I'm going to add. And let's mix them all together, and once the meat is almost cooked, remember the onions that we had saved. We're going to add the onions now at this point to the meat. The reason being, we need a little bit of the onion taste in the spices while we are going to fry the lukhmi. And today we are going to make a warakhi lukhmi, basically like puff pastry. They're going to be in layers of dough. So I'll show you in a while how we made the dough for the lukhmi. So now at this point I'm going to add the green chilies along with the cilantro, and we're going to switch off the flame, and it's ready, and we're going to cool this down so it should be done. And meanwhile, when it's getting cold, we will get started by making the dough for the lukhmi. Meanwhile, let's get started making the dough for the lukhmi. So we're making warakhi lukhmi, so we definitely need butter and about 4 cups of all-purpose flour or maida, a pinch of salt, or you can add like about half a teaspoon of salt. So let's get started, and of course I'm going to use water, about 2.5 to 2 cups of water. Use the water as you go, just don't add the entire water while you're kneading the dough. So let's get started. And also make sure the water is in room temperature or cold. The flakes, when you are frying the lukhmi or the puff pastry flake, they come more flakier. So I added about 2 tablespoons of butter now, and I'm going to mix before I add the water to the dough. So let's just mix the butter well with the flour, and once the flour starts to look a little bit crumbly, so it's ready for us to add the water now. And I also added the salt along with the flour before I added the butter. So let's get started and add the water as you are kneading the dough. Don't add the entire water. Then it'll become too soft, and our puff pastries won't be too flaky if the dough is too soft. So once it's all come together, I'm going to rest the dough for an hour, and this is how the dough looks after an hour. Make sure the dough is not too soft or not too hard, so it's easy for us to work, as we're going to put it in the refrigerator for some time after we roll the dough for the first time. And I'm going to add the rest of the 2 tablespoons of butter after I roll the dough. Let's get started. So roll the dough as thin as you can go, and then maybe about an inch thickness, and then we can add our 2 tablespoons of butter after we roll the dough out, and then dust it with the flour, and we are going to fold it the dough and put it in the refrigerator for between 10 to 15 minutes until the butter has become nice and cold. After you put the dough in the refrigerator, that's what we're looking for, and that's what is going to make the pastry flaky. So I've done that once, and this is the second time I'm doing a same procedure. I'm rolling the dough out and the other 2 tablespoons of butter, and then I'm going to dust it back again with the dry flour and put it in the refrigerator for another 10 to 15 minutes. And we are going to use this dough to fill in the mincemeat that we made. Meanwhile, the mincemeat was in the room temperature now. So this is resting the dough is going to take a while. So if you can get started making the dough, then put it in the refrigerator, and then you can make the mincemeat however you like it, if you are not in a rush. So we're rolling the dough again for the second time, and this time we're ready to put the filling inside. So I'm cutting them in this was about a 1 inch thickness. We don't want it too thick. If you're making it too thick, then the dough is going to remain too doughy inside when we are frying, and it won't taste very good. So make sure it's not too thin and not too thick, as we are going to layer these lukhmis one layer over the other, unlike the samosas. So we made 1 layer, which is I cut that in square shape, and the other one I'm going to place it on top and cover the edges using the water, and then I'm using a fork to make the print of it. This helps in it looks like a design. It also helps the lukhmis not to have the spices come out while we are frying them in the hot oil. So this is one of the lukhmis, and this is how it's supposed to look. So let's get done with all of them. And meanwhile, I had heated up the oil. Make sure the oil is not too hot, because we want the lukhmis to be fried right deep inside of the pastry. So the temperature should be around medium to medium low, so they come out nice and crispy. And look, they blow up. They become like puris as well, because of the heat from the oil. So, and they get crispier, and let me show you one piece. It's going to be nice and flaky as well. So let's get done with rest of the Lukhmis too. So in the same way you can do with the dough, have them cut in squares and make the filling, and use a fork to press the edges so we don't have any leak while you're frying. So look at the layers that we got while frying the Lukhmi, and they're nice and crispy. Let me show it to you how it looks. uh, I have fried all of the Lukhmis, and let me show how nice and crispy they are, and all of the layers if you can see. And that's because we had stored it in the fridge for every 20 minutes after we applied the butter. So here is our delicious warakhi Lukhmi with mincemeat. And for all of the ingredients, do check out in the description box below. And like always, if you haven't subscribed to Sika, do like and subscribe to my channel. And you have a wonderful day and happy Ramadan, and hope your Ramadan preparations are going well. Thanks for watching, Osika. Bye bye.